Thrunite has sent me another torch, and I've got it down here on a pouch. It comes in a nice little pouch that you can put on your camera bag, or you can clip it on. It's got a little loop on it, you can clip it onto your camera bag so you can keep your torch with you. This is a really nice little torch. This is the Catapult Pro. This thing is awesome. This is so much power in it. Comes with a lanyard and a USB-C charger cable. It's got a big battery stuff in the bottom. It is rechargeable. It comes with replaceable O-rings to keep everything watertight and waterproof. It's got a big lens on the front. This thing's sort of nearly 2 inches wide, and it fits in the palm of my hand. It's probably 6 inches long. I'll put all the dimensions and stuff on the screen for you. I did bring some notes with me in my pocket so that I could give you a bit of an insight of what it does, but this thing is super powerful. This thing is so bright. I can still see it shining on the hill now. So you've got several different lighting outputs on this thing, and I've brought a piece of paper with me just to remind me. It's got an SFT70 LED, which means I think it means it's quite bright. It's a maximum output of 2,713 lumens, which means this thing packs power. It really does pack some power. And it's got a throw of 1,000 meters. Now, I was coming up here this morning in the dark, and it was dark this morning when I was coming up here, and this thing would see all the way down the lane. In fact, I could point it up the hills, and I can see up the hill with this thing. It is so bright. You probably won't be able to see it on the, oh, you can see it behind me. It's the lights coming up, and you can see how bright this thing is. Now, if you press and hold it, you see the intensity gets really bright and double flashes. That's now up to its maximum output, and you can see how much power is being pumped out of this thing. It almost illuminates the hillside over in the distance, and then you press your finger on it again and it dims. Now, I quite like that function because you can adjust your amount of output, and you can still see the output on there when it's dimmed right down, and then one press and it goes off. It does remember its last setting, so it remembers its last dim setting, and it comes back on at the same setting as what it was on before. So let me give you some spec rundowns. So turbo mode is a double press, I think. This double press is seriously bright, and I can see it on the other side. This thing is all the way up to the top of the hillside, even in the daylight. It is phenomenal, and I'll show you that in a moment. So double press, and it gives you a maximum turbo output of 2,713 lumens. It will stay like that for 9 minutes, which is quite a long time actually for a turbo, and then it'll drop down to 900, so about 1,000 lumens, 960. So that's still pretty bright, and it'll run like that for 90 minutes. So in all fairness, this will pack power for quite a long time. It really will give you what you need when you need it for long enough, and sustain it for some time. Infinity high, 1,400 lumens, and then it will run like that for 24 minutes and drop down to 909 lumens for 120 minutes. So for 2 hours at 900 lumens. So you're getting a lot of power for a long time again. Strobe, 3 presses. So you're getting your strobe, which is quite a good deterrent. If you know someone's coming at you in the night, poke that in their face and it will slow them down. It really will, because it's that strobe that shocks your eyes and you can't see anything. Strobe is 3 hours long at 700 lumens. Firefly, so if you press and hold, you get this little tiny firefly, which is really quite dim, and this is the sort of thing you can use for reading your maps, having a look at the top of your camera and stuff like that, and that's really handy to have that really dim light at 0.7 lumens. And then infinity low is 42 lumens for 53 hours. The battery, what battery output we got in here, I can't see it in the dark, but I'll put it up on the screen for you. It's got a impact resistance, so you can drop this thing as well. This is quite happy to be thrown on the floor and knock it on rocks, whatever you want to do. And it's got a 1.5 meter drop resistance. So I'm not 5 foot, I'm 5'8". So if I drop it sort of head height, it should be just fine. So at 6 foot, you can drop this and it should bounce and land. If it doesn't, contact Thrunite, I'm sure they'll replace it for you. And it's also waterproof, IPX8, 2 meters. So it means you can drop this in 2 meters worth of water, pick it up and carry on using it. In fact, you could actually probably use it underwater. Wouldn't that be cool? I might have to try that one day. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with this. I mean, I've always wanted a really big chunky torch for when you're getting out long distance. and you know you're walking around in big areas that are dark, and this thing is really good, especially for spotting sheep. When there's a sheep out there in the dark and you're unsure, you can just poke it up, have a look, and you know, just keeps you self conscious and stuff like that. Comes in a pouch, like I say, and the pouch is quite a handy little size, and it also comes with this brilliant lanyard. The lanyard is great. You can actually put it on your wrist, and then you can lock it onto your wrist with a little slider, and it stops it from falling off, and you don't have to actually hold it in your hand, because you don't want to be throwing this around and dropping it in, you know, bushes when you're walking around, that's for sure. It retails at $99.99 USD. USD, is that right? Dollars. Amazon price is $89.95. I had a look at it when I looked it up. I found the battery. It is a 5,000 milliamp battery, which is, you know, quite powerful. Not bad at all. I have found the measurements on here as well. It's 6 centimeters by 3 centimeters by 15 centimeters, if that helps, and it weighs 490 grams. So it's not a bad little weight on it either as well. So yeah, that's all I wanted to do, show you that torch and tell you how impressed I am with it, because it is small, packs a punch, and it is extremely, extremely powerful.